In what might be his last lawsuit against the Biden administration, Ken Paxton is trying to block the imposition of what's been called a methane tax. This is Friday, January 17th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
We've made it to Friday. Thanks for starting the end of your week with the Texas Minute. A Dallas area school district has been letting gender-confused boys stay in hotel rooms with girls on field trips because it says the policy hasn't made the news. Well, you'll find out about it coming up. Despite voters having overwhelmingly objected to an airport expansion, city officials are moving forward anyway. The City of McKinney's Planning and Zoning Commission has unanimously approved a site plan for constructing a 45,000 square foot commercial passenger terminal. The city-owned airport currently serves general aviation customers, but local officials claim to be in discussions with two airlines for passenger service. In 2015, voters in McKinney opposed a $50 million airport bond, and then in 2023, 59% of city voters rejected a $200 million airport expansion bond. After the latest bond failed, the city requested and received $5.4 million in grants for the airport project from McKinney's Economic Development and Community Development Corporations. A city-sponsored impact study projected a commercial terminal could generate millions in tax revenue, but an aviation expert has reportedly called commercial aviation in McKinney, quote, a consultant-fed pipe dream. It's worth noting that the McKinney Airport is about 38 miles from Dallas Love Field, which is the home of Southwest Airlines, and 35 miles from DFW International, which is the headquarters for American Airlines. A newly released investigation has uncovered that the Dallas area Richardson Independent School District has been allowing gender-confused biological boys to room with girls on school field trips. The investigation by Accuracy in Media finds Richardson ISD's Executive Director for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion advising an undercover journalist on the district's policy on biological boys staying with girls. In short, Angie Lee can be heard saying that the district does it because, quote, we haven't ended up on the news. The president of Accuracy in Media is Adam Goulet. He told Texas Scorecard that he's done more than 100 investigations into school districts in Texas and that it's clear to him that the state has a problem with radical ideologues in schools forcing dangerous policies on children. Under legislation filed by Republican State Senator Tan Parker of Flower Mound, a Homeland Security Division would be established within the Texas Department of Public Safety. The Homeland Security Division would coordinate multi-agency and multi-jurisdictional efforts protecting Texans against security threats. The proposed division would be in charge of Texas border security operations, it would coordinate intelligence, and it would protect the state's critical infrastructure, such as energy, communications, and transportation systems. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The odds of winning the lottery are already slim.
Get ready to play the games of Texas.
But in 2023, with the third largest jackpot on the line, it became nearly impossible for the average Texan to win. It turns out, it's hard to compete against an international gambling syndicate buying up $25 million worth of tickets. How did they pull it off? You might be shocked to learn with the help of the Lottery Commission itself. That's just one of the stories we're uncovering in Season 9 of Exposed. We're pulling back the curtain on the rigged games, political corruption, and corporate scandals that have plagued the Texas lottery for years. Listen to Exposed, Gateway Drug, and discover the truth behind the numbers.
Exposed, Season 9. Available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Along with 22 other states, Texas is seeking to block a new rule put forward by the outgoing Biden administration before it can take effect today. The final rule issued by the Environmental Protection Agency would force energy producers to pay what's described as a waste emissions charge. The multi-state coalition argued in its petition before the Federal Court of Appeals in Washington, D.C., that the regulations are arbitrary and exceed the EPA's statutory authority. It's worth noting that Mr. Paxton has filed more than 100 lawsuits against the Biden administration on behalf of Texas, and of course, Donald Trump takes office at noon on Monday. You can find the details of this story and the others mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. The Texas Minute and all the programs and products made by Texas Scorecard are available for free thanks to the generous donations of our readers, viewers, and listeners. You can donate at TexasScorecard.com/donate. That's TexasScorecard.com/donate. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Aaron Anderson, Emily Medeiros, and Luca Cacciatore. It was produced by Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.